Tonight we found out that despite every R&B song you ever heard from the 90s, age is actually more than just a thing. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and a episode of Chill and Chat. That's right. Tonight we're going to chill and also chat. And we're going to try and do them at the same time. Tonight we're going to lubricate the process with Maker's Mark French Oaked. Man, was I disappointed. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. The Logan Paul, Jason Paul, Keith Paul, Joe Paul, Jake Paul, whatever Paul showed up, he was not fighting the Mike Tyson of old. But like I said, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. I want to say hi to everybody that stopped by late night, early morning, amongst the disappointment, the mixed emotions that we're all feeling right now. Mike Tyson fans, classic Mike Tyson fans from back in the day, probably stunned for sure. Yeah. But I want to know what you think in the comment section in the poll question. So tonight we have a poll question specifically about the Paul versus Tyson fight. What do you think overall? I'm assuming that, if you're watching this live stream, if you're here in the live chat, you've seen the fight. It was free to stream on live stream on Netflix if you had a stable internet connection, which is another thing we're going to talk about. So the poll question is simply this: what did you think of the fight? Pretty simple. So you got four options. It was great, it was good, it was okay, or it sucked. Just let me know what you think about it. In the comment section, we got some votes up there. So we're 28 votes. Okay, here we go. Jump in there. Let your voice be heard. It's not necessarily arcade related, but I guess if you consider Mike Tyson's Punch-Out an arcade game, I mean, it was playable on Nintendo's Play Choice system, that was an arcade. So technically, this has some relation to arcades-ish. What do you think about it, guys? First off, let me say thank you so much for coming by, swinging by the channel, and being patient as I've had an extended absence. That is unfortunately because work intervened a little bit. And then life, my family down in Texas. So what happened was I went to Canada, and then it was crazy. I was in Canada while we had the election. I guess if my candidate didn't win, I was going to be good to go. I was already in Canada. I just would have to come back home. But I was in Canada for some training, and that training went very well, very informative. It was good stuff. I got back into the States just fine, no problem. Going into Canada was a bit intense. I thought the third body cavity search was a bit excessive, but listen, I'm not familiar with their culture, so I just let them get it all out of their system, I guess. So very thorough at the border going into Canada. So I was in Canada. I stopped by for just a couple days, and then I got, packed and headed on down to Texas, where my family's from. It was a big day. Mom and Dad were killing a couple pigs just for me. That's right. They've got a ranch down there. They had a couple pigs they needed to slaughter. So I went down there, processed 2 pigs. And then while they were freezing in the freezer for a couple days, I met up with my brother, and he came by the house. We shot guns. We smoked cigars. We drank whiskey. It was an absolutely phenomenal weekend. It was great. But glad that drive's over, because it is 16 hours one way. I made a couple days out of it going down, but on the way back, I had a truck full of frozen meat. I couldn't delay. I had to get back as soon as possible. So I had to drive the whole way. So Wednesday was a bit of a long day for Fox, but I am back in the studio, back at home, and I'm ready to talk to all of you. What's going on, everybody? The most anticipated boxing match in quite some time. What did you think about it? Was it good? Was it bad? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the poll question. And let's say hi to Carl. Oh, what's going on, buddy? I had it in my background while playing some fishtails. There you go. Who won? Jake Paul won. It was by decision, so there wasn't a knockout, which is something we need to talk about for sure. I ain't saying nothing until Fox gets in. Wait. I'm here. I'm ready to comment on the situation. Devastator Omega. I don't know why people are complaining. We knew what this was. For me, was a childhood boxing idol walk down to the ring one last time between Mike Tyson and Julio Cesar Chavez, 2 goats. I mean, he had the look, he had the attitude. Showing his ass in the pre-fight interview was a bit much, but hey, my wife got an eyeful. We all got an eyeful, and not sure how I feel about that. We'll maybe talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, it was it was a lot of weirdness. It was definitely unedited for sure. It was all very raw and real. There was no bleeps or nothing, so you heard everybody saying what they wanted to say and the way they wanted to say it. And yeah, it was for me. It was kind of sucked. But you know what doesn't suck? A super chat, $2 from Kevin Clausen. Thank you so much for your $2 super chat, brother, and including the segue into the actual super chat. Always reliable, always on time. And unfortunately, you're always going to go to one place, and that's the pit.
Finish him. Melina wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
Kevin, I don't have the knowledge to turn this into a sports channel, but it is a reaction channel, I guess, to life. I don't know. I got to talk about it. I got to talk about this. I got to talk about it because as soon as the fight was over, my wife went to bed. My son was checked out. He was like, this was lame. He took off. I can't blame him. I can't blame him. The whole world was hyping this thing up, and he went to bed. So I got to talk to somebody about this. And you, unfortunately, all of you, my lovely subscribers, are my victims tonight. So let's do it. Let's get this done. Spell Good says, playing arcades at the sports bar, they just go together, I reckon. Absolutely. Arcades, sports bar. Yeah, makes sense to me. Tyson went the distance. It looks worse for Jake that he didn't finish off a 58-year-old. I think Canelo Alvarez will hurt him a lot more than Tyson. I'm of mixed emotion. I guess if I was Jake, and I thank God I'm not, but if I was Jake standing in the ring with Mike Tyson, I would imagine the first round would have gone, probably worse for Jake for sure. Me being Jake in that situation. But that was the only signs of life we saw out of Tyson was that first round. It was like, oh, here we got something. And then after that, it was really just Mike biting his left glove and hanging in there. And so what should Jake have done? He pretty much saw what was going on. Should he just pummel an old man, or should he just trade, just basically spar with him? I tend to think I probably would have handled it the same way. I hate to say this because I don't like the guy at all. I don't like Jake Paul at all. But yeah, I probably would have sparred with Mike. There's no honor in just beating him down. He was obviously off his game. He was obviously not up to the task at all. Sad, really, because like I said, the first round, you're like, oh boy, this is just a preview. It's going to get good. Mike just didn't throw any punches. He just didn't throw any punches. I mean, 2 rounds left, and he was only 18%. So there's no way he was going to win the decision. He had to go for the knockout, and he just never did. I don't know what was going on with his mouthpiece. His legs looked shaky. He was biting that left glove. Which I know it was a nervous tick from back in the day, but still, I mean, it just seemed like he was really just off. He didn't seem like he had it together. It was disappointing, man. Because I mean, listen, all the film and all the footage and all the hype from everybody in the world, everybody in the fighting world talking about this, we thought that Tyson was going to bring it one last time, and I just didn't see it. Besides some sparks in the first round, man. And the man can take some hits too. I mean, Jake Paul threw some punches. He was trying to knock him out, I think, and Mike took him. And then he kept going. He stayed in there. But I do think at some point, Jake was probably like, okay, this is Mike Tyson, but he's 60, and I pretty much got this in the bag. So I'm just going to throw some punches to make it look good. And that's about it. Because Tyson really wasn't going after him at all. He was just sort of like reacting, and it was very much a defensive posture. And I just didn't, I don't know. It was just kind of sad. You're kidding, right? That was a payday for both. No way Jake was trying to knock out a 50. Yeah, it was definitely a payday for both. I'm not gonna. I mean, that's obvious, right? Everybody got paid. But yeah, when it comes to Mike and Jake, I don't know. We'll talk about that maybe a little bit later because I want to go through the other fights in this event. There were 4 fights, and we got to talk about it for sure. got respect and got paid. Jake, on the other hand, got nothing else but money. I mean, I kind of agree with that. But before we talk more about that, let's talk about the other fights real quick. Oh, let's get them out of the way real quick. So the first fight was just, it was worse. It was worse than the last fight. It was absolutely horrible. There was some actor from India who was trying to get into boxing or whatever, make a name for himself. I don't know. It seemed really, really gimmicky and really, really stupid and incredibly fake. It was annoying. It was hard to watch. I mean, when he was dry humping the guy in the corner, and the guy that got dry humped was like, oh, well, hey, I guess this is boxing. Ha ha. No, what are you doing? You just got humiliated by some actor from India. It was pathetic. I yelled at the TV. I'm like, just take all your tattoos off. You haven't earned any of them. You have no street cred. You got hearts on the side of your head. Your braids. It's just like, no, you have just lost it. There's nothing for you here. Go away. So that was bad. The second fight was really good. 12 full rounds. You had guys going back and forth. They both got knocked down. Really good fight. Maybe the best fight of the night, even though it was maybe not the most technical, was probably the women. I mean, the female fight was just brutal. So you got the shady Irish woman, was leading with the head and did the headbutt on our fellow American, our Puerto Rican female, and just had a nasty gash. And she was like, "No, I'm good. Don't stop the fight. Keep going." And that happens early on. I think the second round, maybe first round, maybe second round. And it just like it happens, and man, she just gets pummeled the whole fight. But it felt cheap. What was her name? Katie something or other. The female fighter from Ireland. It just felt absolutely cheap. She was leading with the head the whole way, and it just didn't feel like. I mean, she obviously couldn't go toe to toe with the Puerto Rican fighter. Just wasn't going to happen. She was way too fast. She had the reach. She was just far. I think she was probably more technical than the Irish chick. But that was just bad. That was really bad. That was horrible the way she was leading with the head. But it was absolutely like this testament to like strength and durability and just sheer guts, and she had it in spades. And the fact that she didn't win, that really sucked. But I don't know. I think it was probably it was definitely the most momentous or more memorable fight of the night by far. That was like, man, that was brutal. And I think she absolutely got robbed for sure. Best technical fight, probably the second fight. So that was the welterweight fight. That was probably the best technical fight. And then, of course, I think overall the best fight was definitely the female combatants. That was pretty good. So, yes, that's probably the best I get. That's all I got to say about that for the most part. But, yeah, going back to Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, that was just rough. Bob, you didn't miss much. Like I said, the second and the third fight were great, especially since you didn't have to pay for it. It was Netflix. If you have Netflix, you were good to go. But the Tyson fight was horrible. You enjoyed it, Ted? Awesome. I think overall the night was good, but the final fight, the main event, not good. Yeah, man, Ruben, buddy, I'm on your side, bro. It was just. Like I said, that first round, you're like, okay, here we go. I was standing up, right? I'm watching this fight. Here we go. All right, Tyson's just getting warmed up. And then nothing happened. Sad. P-Dubs versus Tyson. I like it. Jake probably also lost a lot of respect. Not that he had any to spare anyways. Because I don't like the guy. And he makes money off not being liked. And that's fine. Everybody's got their shtick. Is what it is. Trolls on the internet can get paid too. And that's fine. But I'm going to be honest with you. In my opinion, it is easier to be disliked than to be liked. It is easier to destroy than it is to create. And that's why you see more people destroying things and being trolls, because they're talentless hacks. They really are. They're just not good. and so it's easier to do that. It just is. Jr. agrees. That sucked. Unfortunately, Jason. Yeah. James. I'm sorry, not Jason. James is saying yes. Weak sauce. In this actual very specific case, James does hate everything. Just in this case for sure. Jason says fights fail. That's right. No, if Jake Paul knocked out Mike Tyson, it would have had a bad. Carl, I think I agree with you. I think I agree with you. That would have probably been the bad look, and I think he would have. I think he would have won but lost. Sadly, I think this is probably the best case scenario for Jake Paul. You go the distance. You don't knock out Mike Tyson. You get the technical win, but you save face by not knocking him out. I guess that's probably the best way to go. I guess. It felt like a YouTube clickbait video. Yeah. Listen, at least we didn't have to pay pay-per-view pricing for this damn fight. Even though the second and third fights were great, the welterweight fight and the female fight that were good fights. But man, everybody wanted to see Mike Tyson really take a swing at this kid, really connect and see if Jake could take it. That's what I wanted to see. I'm not delusional. I didn't really think we were going to see some wild knockout. I thought it was a possibility. But I really wanted to see Mike go to this kid's body, go to his head, like we see him hitting the bags and all that, and see if this kid could take it. To really, like Rocky said in the first movie, Rocky wanted to just go the distance. Nobody ever went the distance with Creed. Rocky wanted to go the distance. And I wanted to see Jake Paul have Tyson go to the body, go to the head, take some hits, and keep going, But that didn't happen, and that's not Jake's fault. I mean, Mike didn't throw any punches. He just wasn't throwing punches. After the first round, they just wasn't there. And that is not Jake's fault. Yeah, it was rough. It was brutal, C North, wasn't it? It was brutal. That cut, oh my God. I felt for her. My wife was sitting there like, oh, she was wincing. And my wife's got just like a rock hard stomach. She's got an iron gut, right? She would change the diapers for the kids when I couldn't hack it. But she was like, oh God, getting queasy. I'm like, that's a good gash. That's a good cut. That was gapped wide open. And that happened early in the fight. And she was like, no, I'm good. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And that cheater, that freaking wuss, of a fighter leading with her head, leading into it. I mean, if you hit somebody right there with your forehead, you're going to split it. Because that's where the bone and the skin is it's there's not much meat there, right? So you're going to split that. And I just thought it was cheap. And she kept going in with the head. It just pissed me off. Yeah. I don't doubt that for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, epic waste of time. Tomorrow, no, brother, it is tomorrow, Saturday. Tomorrow is Saturday. Oh, wait, tomorrow is Sunday. I don't know. Either way, Saturday and Sunday, no work for me. No, sir. Yes, it was absolutely legit. It was brutal. Such a good fight. I'm with you. I didn't think Tyson was going to just be throwing haymakers, for the entire fight, and knocking Jake down multiple times. But I wanted to see him just really lay into him, unleash, just let it go, Mike, let it go, go to the body, go to the head, just throw some punches. But at some point he got timid. He just got where he was chewing that left glove and he was just defensive the whole time. And it was just, I don't know, it was disappointing, man. Do you mean a disappointing RK1-up? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, that one will be good. Tyson is 6 years away from being a senior citizen in which he had laws against elderly abuse. Maybe they should change that age, huh? Maybe it should be 58, right? I know, man. I agree with you. That was a rough one for sure. That was tough. That was really, really tough. Hard to watch that last fight. Micah, one goes, yeah, exactly. You're like, okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, the first round, he's just getting warmed up. He's just getting warmed up. It's gonna be on, boy. And it just didn't happen. You're like, son of a, just do something, man. I mean, but it was all defense. It was all just kind of hopping around, bouncing around, and it was hard to watch. Tough for sure. Fox New Arcade Project, Mike Tyson's Punch Out. That's not a bad idea, Calvin. I've thought about that. That would be cool. Because I've already got the let's see. Well, no, I've got the Nintendo Classic, but they don't have Mike Tyson's Punch Out on there. They have just Punch Out. So yeah, I thought about just buying a Nintendo Play Choice and then just having those games. That would be really cool to have that in the arcade. I've got a couple arcades I'm going to sell. I've got a guy coming to pick up in a week, maybe. He's going to pick up Die Hard and Raiden. Going to get rid of those. I'm selling the Star Wars project that's in the garage. Hopefully somebody will get that. And then I'm still trying to sell Cruising. So once I make room, I could maybe see bringing in a Play Choice. But if nothing else, I could make that Nintendo cabinet. I could remake that. I made one once before. I still have the control panel. I bought the 2 arcade sticks for the Nintendo Classic. I could remake that. Absolutely. But this time do it right and legit wire everything in. Wire the buttons in and the joysticks into those controllers and make it a legit Nintendo cabinet and just have the Nintendo Classic be the heart of the arcade. I wonder if I could maybe just get another Dynamo cabinet. Pick one of those up for less than $400 and just, make that the new Nintendo cabinet. It's not a bad idea. The most exciting part of the fight, will it... Listen, I had to say, I saw everybody complaining online. I had a big problem with it. I was streaming it. So I was using my Samsung Smart TV with the built-in Netflix app. I was streaming it that way. And then it was just bogging down. It was rough. So I switched to my Apple TV, which is the 4K version, the 4K Apple TV. So it's got a faster processor and stuff. It's still a wireless internet connection. It's not hardwired. And once I switched to that, it was good. It was fine. So it's probably the hardware people were using, maybe. But yeah, definitely frustrating for sure. Yeah, it was pretty much down here from there. $2 at a time. Tyson did well. Jake could have knocked him out, but he didn't. Tyson is walking away, 20 million richer. Way to go, champ. And he even showed his ass in the interview, so that was good. Netflix, I don't think, had the bandwidth to really support something like this. Now, hopefully, they'll beef up their infrastructure for the next live event. I think they're going to have more. This was pretty wild, man, to have the Cowboys Stadium, to have Jerry Jones there, to have NFL players, to have everybody coming on camera and talking. Obviously, the main event. It was a big deal. It was a big deal. And this is something that, Amazon Prime is now going to have some competition, from Netflix on some of these live events. So we'll see. Could they lock down a NFL deal? Maybe, perhaps. Jake Paul all but admitted the fight wasn't serious during the post-fight interview. I didn't watch it, but I don't doubt it. Yep. He's not. He would be, let's see, he's 5 years younger than me, so he would be 14K Fox. Actually, I can't remember what his MOS was in the military. I'll have to contact him, and then that would be his MOS plus Fox would be his thing. But yeah, no, we had great fun, good times. Yeah, for sure. I got mad respect for Tyson going the distance. Would have been amazing to see one more knockout, but Tyson seemed off. He did. He seemed off balance. What's going on, Damien? Damien, how the hell are you, buddy? Good to see you. Not to pay. At least Tyson got a good slap in the face. He did. He did at the weigh-in. He got that. Oh, okay. Well, maybe they're doing something because they ain't doing jack at Walmart, buddy. Now we know Tyson has a biting fetish. He was really chewing. It was almost like a nervous tick. He was biting on that glove. It was kind of weird. I think the other matches were really good, especially the lady. Yeah, the women were incredible. That was a brutal fight. Brutal for sure. 58 injured leg. Paul kept running. He didn't knock out Tyson. Tyson did fine. Yeah, he didn't get the knockout. He probably could have, but I think that he saved face by not knocking out Tyson. So as much as I hate it, I got to give Jake Paul props for that. It was the right call not to knock out Tyson. Once I heard the $1 million shorts, I was like, this guy is so. Everything was bad up until that point. That was just the end of it. I just wanted somebody in the crowd to jump in there and just beat his ass. Yeah, that was not good, buddy, for sure. Not good. Tyson walking to the ring was looking really old. I'm glad Paul didn't knock him out. Yeah, I was, on one hand, I was like, oh, he's all business. He's serious. Nobody's with him, just the black robe or whatever, and that's it. But yeah, you kind of, I didn't know if his look was old man tired look or if he was just super focused serious. I couldn't tell. Turns out, yeah, it was probably just old man look. At least Mike got a good hit in the beginning. He did, for sure. You know, he really won Jerry and his curtain. Oh yeah, I know, for sure. Oldest went to a friend's to watch the buffer to watch the buffering. I introduced the other two to Gladiator movie. Wife is angry at both calls. Sorry. But just give her a big old hug and a kiss, and I'm sure she'll be fine, Bob. Good luck with that. Yeah, that wasn't what I expected. Absolutely. Jake got scared for a minute after that. After that first hit, he's like, whoa. Mike did gas out. I mean, I think you're right. I think he had him back on his heels for a second. He was like, whoa, weird. Mike still got something, but then he just puttered out, sadly, he kind of ran out of gas. But you know what doesn't run out of gas? Or you know what doesn't run out of cash? And that's Kevin with another $2 super chat. Your thoughts about people with a biting fetish? Well, Kevin, far be it from me to put people in the box. But what I will say is that anyone involved in said fetish should, definitely be on board. There should be some discussion beforehand and maybe even, fill out like a permission slip or maybe a consent form. It's the right thing to do.
Let's go. Wolverine win. Rookie.
Yeah, this was the first and last time I have or will ever watch Jake Paul fight. So I don't care who he fights next. Yeah, because he's not a technical fighter. I want to see guys in their prime fighting. This was just a stunt, and it's kind of sad. The moist napkin. Mike has never had stamina, even when he was 20 as world champ. That's true. He prided himself on knocking guys out in the first couple rounds, And when he had to go the distance, that was tough for him. When he fought Evander Holyfield the first time, constantly hugging him and locking him up, it threw him off his game, and he was really, really just out of his element for sure. But you figure in the first couple rounds, he'd be giving him hell, But it is what it is. They stopped the buffering, and it turned into the classic watching the internet on a potato stream. Kind of sad, right? The buffering, Scott, was absolutely atrocious. Like I said, I did switch from my smart TV to my Apple TV, and it did help because I guess it has a better processor. And it was able to process the information a little bit better. So depending on your device, it might have been a better experience. What about all those Netflix problems kept kicking me? Yeah, that was JJ. That was bad. It really was. I had to switch devices because watching it on the smart TV, it just couldn't handle it. It was not good. Tyson didn't have the eye of the tiger. He did not have the eye of the tiger. I thought he did. You look at the promo videos. You look at the way he came into the ring, or not the ring, but when he came into the arena, he looks serious as hell. He was like, I'm just all about it. We're just gonna make this happen. Didn't happen. Yes, 58 versus, and that was the biggest problem. VGV, what's going on, buddy? How the hell are you? Evening 19K Fox. The fight was mostly buff. The old circle loading. Still thinking about it. Yeah, it was when I was watching on my smart TV, it was bad. Like I had buffering, I had the sound drop out completely. That's why I gave up and had to switch to my Apple TV. So that was the better way to go for me. I'm glad he didn't get knocked out. He's still a legend, no matter what he didn't go out like Muhammad Ali was worse. I cried when I watched that match. They had to throw the towel in for Muhammad Ali. Yeah, yeah. Uh, if Tyson wasn't going to go to town on him, this is probably the better way. Just go the distance. It's only 8 rounds. It's only 2 minutes each, and that's it. So the only thing that sucks is Jake is going to be able to say, "I beat Mike Tyson." Is what it is. I could have knocked Tyson out if he'd really wanted to. He took it easy on Tyson out of respect and a paycheck. It is what it is, I guess. But at least the other boxers kind of got a chance to shine, which is this next comment here. Yeah, the female boxing match before Tyson and Paul was amazing. I think you had some real fighters leading up to that. And if there's a bright spot, I think that's it. They definitely got a chance to shine, and it was incredible. I do think that the Irish boxer was cheating, leading with the head. That was uncalled for. The constant headbutts just kind of pissed me off. The Puerto Rican fighter was a much more technical fighter, much better technical fighter. Should have won for sure. Well, I am a pretty big deal in India. You're right. I apologize. Doug Wynn, what's going on, buddy? Great to see you, man, as always. If I wanted to watch a good boxing fight, just play Mike Tyson's fight. I don't know, watch some classic Tyson fights, Ali and fights. Yes, those knockouts are incredible. Yes, absolutely. Agree 100%, Doug. He sure did. He promised him, and he did it. Yeah, that's true. Yep. He had a stroke to me too. Something was off with him as well. Yeah, he just kind of the way he kind of just sort of looking at the camera, and he was talking about going in the ring and fighting Gronkowski. No, you Shaq. No. Just sit your big ass down and just watch the show because you would get killed. Yes, Stringer. That was epic, bro. That was insane. The welterweight fight was really good too. Very good, very technical, back and forth, knocking each other down. Good fight. But yeah, the women were kicking ass, man. But the Irish, they played dirty. That cut was deep. It was just 720. Did you see the way that thing gapped open? Good Lord. By the end of the fight, it was just wide open. It was just like, well, that's going to need some stitches. That's going to need something. Medical attention will be required. Tyson versus Paul was just a pay grab for them. After round 4, you knew nothing spectacular was going to happen. Yeah, I was waiting for something. I thought maybe in the 7th round, Tyson would try something, but by when the 7th round was over, it was like, dude, what are we doing? What are we doing? And then the last round, it was just like, come on, man. Come on. Not good. So, somehow, even the Puerto Rican lady sounded Irish in the interview. I think that was that cut in her head. The other fighter, the Irish lady, bled into that cut and turned her Irish. It's science. That's the way that happens. And it's sad. She lost her Puerto Rican heritage live on camera. It's all very sad. It's all very sad. I was holding out hope for a last round trip hammer from Tyson, but his knees were clearly shot. I think they were, man. It was not looking good. And yeah, I was waiting for that haymaker. I was waiting for something. I was waiting for him to go on in and just try to just wail on him, body, head, just go to the body and try to do some shots to the head, something. Have Mike do something. But it was just like, man, after that first round, he was gassed. He really was. He was struggling. The knees were weak. I like how Jake did show respect for Tyson at the end of the fight in the last round. Yeah, he gave him a little, weak internet was the biggest challenger in the fight for sure. Turtles having sex moved faster than them too. Graphic, but accurate. So I will allow it. Absolutely. They're actually really close friends. Yeah, I've seen that and some of the stuff leading up to it. You don't know how to take that stuff. Is that fake? Is that real? I don't know. I guess it was probably just fake. So, it is what it is. It's just, I'll sign up for Netflix. This is going to be great. At least the other two fights were good. The welterweight fight was good. The female fight was good. And yes, the first fight was great because I'm very big in India. Great job. Hey, Evan, what the hell is going on, buddy? Good to see you, as always. Mike could barely keep his feet on it. It got kind of sad, didn't it, Stringer? Man, he came out strong, looking tough, and then you just kind of saw he was chewing on that glove and kind of wobbly. It's disappointing for sure. Hey, man, what's going on? Great to see you, Kag. Thank you so much for stopping by, buddy. This was a hard one to watch. I felt bad for Tyson. He looked like he realized his age at round two. That's a good point. You could see his demeanor kind of change. He was like all of a sudden, "Oh, I'm just going to try to just sit here and just take this." And last these last 7 rounds. Yeah, it was sad. Chris, I didn't enjoy myself. I was really pumped up, really excited, and thought that, it would be slow for sure. I thought there'd be some sort of assault from Jake, and then he would just sort of, Tyson would take it, and then at some point he would just kind of every once in a while sporadically unload on him, maybe once a round, maybe once every other round, just kind of have some kind of combination or something. I wasn't really predicting a knockout, but I thought that we'd have more action than that. But yeah, I think you're right. I think Tyson knew pretty quick. He's like, "Oh, I'm tired. It's time for Matlock. Go watch something on TV." Oh, no question. No question. He would have destroyed Jake, but that was a long time ago, unfortunately. I also bought an $875 floor ticket for this fight. I'm kind of glad I didn't, but wait, oh, you almost, I'm sorry. You did. I almost bought an $875 floor ticket for this fight. I'm kind of glad I didn't, but it would have been cool to see Tyson fight in person. It would have been cool to be there. I mean, Chris, there were a lot of people there, celebrities, and just, I mean, you had a lot of the Cowboys there. Micah Parsons was there, of course. Jerry Jones, Michael Irvin was there. I think there was a lot of people there, so you would have had maybe a chance to spy some celebrities, some sports, celebrities for sure, some athletes would have been cool. But yeah, man, even though the way it went down, it would have been cool to see Tyson in person for his last fight, no matter how it ended up, for sure. I kept thinking Tyson was going to have a yeah, Scott, I can't complain. I can't argue with you. It was pretty bad. What's up, C Marvel? How you doing, bro? It was such a struggle to watch that last woman's fight. It was absolutely full. It was, but you have to give it to them, especially the Puerto Rican fighter. Her name has escaped me right now. I apologize, because she was incredible. That cheap ass headbutt happens early on, first round or maybe the second round. I don't know. I can't remember, but it happens early on in the fight, and she sticks. She's in there, and that gap above her eye just keeps going open. And that fighter from was it Katie? I forget her last name. The Irish boxer kept leading in with her forehead and her head, leading in like that. It was cheap. It was I got to the point where I was pissed off. I was like, quit fighting like that. Quit being cheap. Stand toe to toe, because this girl's going to whoop your ass. She's going to take it to you. She's going to go to you hard, and you can't take it. So do something else. But leading with the head, knowing you already cut her, to me, it was just cheap, and it was unsportsmanlike. And I think that, she was just trying to protect her record more than anything else. But but damn, to watch that woman with such a brutal eye in such a high career fight, man, I mean, it was a sight to behold. It was a testament to human just the endurance to be able to put that pain aside and continue to stay in the fight. She should have absolutely won for sure, but I wasn't counting punches. I was all about the emotion and the blood streaming down her face. That woman's badass. Dude was gassed. Yeah, unfortunately, Mike was definitely gassed for sure. George Foreman came back multiple times and never stopped throwing the punches. You see what I'm saying? That's Jason. That's what I'm talking about. Like I expected something more from Mike. I really, really did, and it was just kind of disappointing for sure. Well, I don't know that I can blame you for saying that. It had all the pomp and circumstance of a freaking high school pep rally. It was rough to see him come in, and then you see Mike coming in just by himself, badass. Oh, he's going to take care of it, and then it was just not good, not good at all. Modern Gen Z punch out. It was not good. What's going on, Danny? The whole community is here. Get hyped. What's going on, everybody? Talking about our disappointment in the fight. Stone River, how are you? Are you sipping on bitters? Not today, ma'am. Not today. Straight up, Maker's Mark 46, the French oaked, because it's sad. It's sad. It's I don't know. Let's just take a second. Let's think about it like this. In I think it was 1996. I was a young man in the Army before I met my wife. And I was watching Mike Tyson fight Evander Holyfield in the barracks, and it was epic. It was awesome. And now here I am, 96. So what is that? Freaking 30 years later, 28 years later. Married, my youngest son, two of my boys are off to the military. My youngest son's there with me, and I'm able to watch Mike Tyson fight yet again with my youngest son. So there's something to be said about that. And you got to tip your glass, take a sip, and find the good in life. It is what it is. So we do what we can. We'll try to make the best of it. But I wanted more, but let's maybe just take what we got, right? Just roll with it. But let me know, Stone, what are you sipping on tonight? Rigged money grab. Listen, I can't argue with you. These points are valid after what we've seen. Sports are rigged these days. Tyson looked like a badass during his training sessions, but then doesn't try during the fight. It was beyond the first round. It was rough, man. Bob says the Sega Genesis cab you made was awesome. Nintendo be easy money. Thank you. I appreciate it. I regret getting rid of that cabinet. I'm gonna be honest with you. I regret it. I'm streamlining the arcade a little bit. Going to get rid of a few cabs, make room for some cabinets that I absolutely have to have. But there are some projects that I want to revisit. I would kind of like. I love the Street Fighter Deluxe that RK1 Up made. I wouldn't mind picking up a couple more. Maybe we redo that. Maybe we revisit that and make another Sega Genesis cabinet, but out of that Dynamo form factor would be sick. Maybe take the same cab and do the Nintendo version, reskin it with gray, keep the black T molding, but do like the gray. That could look good. So maybe I have to work on that a little bit. But got to flush that idea out for sure. Shutdown says whiskey. Yes, indeed. Bourbon, to be more precise. Evan says Muhammad Ali would be rolling in his grave. Before Mike fought, they showed that footage of Mike's son interviewing him when Mike was in his G-string. Straight up humiliation ritual and rigged for Paul. Yeah, I was like, I've been in locker rooms before, stuff like that's no big deal. But like with my wife was like, what? She's like, I just saw Mike Tyson's butt. And I'm like, yeah, you did. Mike just showed you what he's working with there. The camera guy just follows him too. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Stay with his son. Look at his son's expression. Don't look at his dad's ass. I don't know. It's Netflix. Evidently anything goes. Any news on the Nova cab? So last Sunday, 2 Sundays ago, on my show, I revealed that I am not buying the Nova Blast. I'm not going to buy one. Part of the problem is the $400 shipping. And another part of the problem is the lack of space in my arcade. I'm going to go with the At Games 4K pinball machine. Once I sell at least one cab, maybe two. If this guy shows up and buys these two, I'll go ahead and get in. But you know me, I'm not just going to keep it stock. I'm going to buy one and immediately do some mods to the thing for sure. But I'm not going to buy a Nova Blast. I have the original right there. I don't need a Nova Blast. If this thing died, the screen went belly up, something, maybe I would go ahead and go for it. And that's still a possibility in the future, but I'm not going to buy one. Now, if you've ordered one, it should be stateside. You should be getting some sort of shipping information. A lot of people that order one already have theirs. So keep an eye on your inbox, and you should be getting some notifications very soon. Maybe use wired, and yeah, that would absolutely help for sure. Reduce all the latency for sure. That was, yeah. The stream was horrible. Apple TV, Roku TV apps all sucked with freezing issues, all via internet and Google Fiber. It was a rough time for sure. How did Netflix not see this coming? They struggled a little on Rogan's live stand-up, but this was obviously viewed by many more people. This was by far, I mean, I haven't seen the numbers, but by far was the most watched thing that they've ever done. And to give you sort of, I don't know what their numbers are, but I will say that the company that was promoting the fight, MVP, they were on YouTube and they were doing some preliminary stuff before 8 o'clock. They had some other fights. They were live streaming on YouTube, 388,000 people. So that gives you some idea. Leading up to the event, wasn't even Netflix. It was just their YouTube channel. MVP, the company, like I said, the company that promoted the whole thing. They were damn near 400,000 people were live streaming that event. So that, I mean, extrapolate that out, like multiply that out by, I don't know, 5. And that should give you a rough estimate of where they were at. I mean, it could be even more than that. You know, I mean, by 10. I mean, is it possible that 3 or 4 million people were watching this at the same time? Probably. It's not a stretch. So they should have seen and learned from in the past the issues they had with Rogan's stand-up special, and then build out their infrastructure. But you're going to have a tough time dealing with that unless you're Google, or Amazon. But no, you're absolutely right. 100% preventable. He's fighting an old man. That's credible. Experienced boxer versus non-experienced boxer. I mean, he's got some experience with Jake Paul. Not so much. He's not that experienced. But, time is always a factor. Age is more than just a number. And, man, I don't know. I think his training videos and stuff, that's a great hype campaign. That was excellent editing for sure, because Mike just unfortunately didn't have it in him. He didn't. I think if Jake Paul would have been an experienced fighter with like 30 fights under his belt, like 20 wins, 10 losses, but he had a lot of fights under, and he was really going for the heavyweight title. And this guy really didn't give a damn about legacy or on that bull crap, and wasn't into personas and all that stuff, marketing. And he was just going for blood. Would have killed Mike Tyson. And I'm glad that didn't happen, but it would have happened. Okay. This is the best thing. This is the most eyes that have been on that stadium this year, or maybe ever. Definitely the best thing, because that team absolutely sucks this year for sure. Netflix is getting NFL games. If they don't beef up their infrastructure, their servers, I mean, they got to do something, because that was not good at all. It's from the 1981 and whatever cab in Target. Oh, okay, gotcha. We found an AI generated Tyson in his prime versus just to make me feel better. That's good. That's good. That would something, right? Something. I think that obviously Paul would just be blown out because Tyson at 20 years old was wrecking guys that had legit records and had been fighters for a while. Has to deal with the NFL. They're showing 2 games on Christmas. Well, Tampa J Vinyl, we may be in for a rough time. But listen, I think it's good that these streaming services are getting NFL games. But it's good in one way. It's also bad in one way because now we got to subscribe to multiple services. And here we go again. It's like having cable all over again. Kind of sucks. Worst Jago, what's going on, buddy? Paul got paid $40 million to walk to the ring. Tyson got paid $20 million to walk to the ring. The fight was a joke, just a money grab. And that is obvious by the result. When Mike hit Paul early on, you can see Paul. I would too. I think because even though it was just one punch, it was probably a lot. And Jake probably thought, man, if he's got more of those in his pocket, this ain't looking good. My cat has a biting fetish. And I will show you. That's between you two for sure. The real winner is the friends we made along the way. Unburdened by what has been. Absolutely. Jake Paul reminds me of Floyd Mayweather near the end of the career. He set up fights where the odds were in his favor. Good for his bank account, but not fun to watch for boxing fans. That's unfortunately kind of what boxing has turned into, with the exception of some of the lighter weight divisions. They seem to really have some fighters who really want to fight and win for the glory and the money and everything. So, must be fair to Mike, though. When he fought Holyfield, he was also abusing drugs, so he wasn't the same mentally. Nowhere Bear were okay. Gotcha. That's true. That's fair. That's a fair point. Netflix Mexico has no issues. Sweet. There you go. Nice. Probably the bandwidth in certain areas, right? It was horrible. Mike has sucked when he was ending his career. No reason to believe he improved with old age. Obviously not. Boxing has become a clown show. Unfortunately, just never-ending money grabs. Jake and Mike both won a lot of money. Good for them. Am I the only one that thought the first fight was... Yeah, the first fight was stupid. I know I'm very big in India. Hello to all my Indian fans. Good to see you. But yeah, that first fight was absolute trash-ass garbage. It was just stupid. The one guy was, I think, an actor in India, and the other guy was just happy to be on TV. I don't know. The guy from India, like, dry humped him, and he was like, okay, that sounds good. He was happy, but he was laughing, ha, ha, ha. What is wrong with you? It sucks so bad I called the illegal streamer and demanded he pay me. The guy I was stealing cable from, I complained to that guy. It was really good. Absolutely. Jake can beat Tyson in real life, but can beat Tyson in NES. That's the real challenge. Absolutely. The Champagne Room says women fighting, man. Oh, come on. Come on, dude. The female fight was just meh. Come on, dude. Come on. Be honest. Bob, we're not allowed to ask those questions anymore. Welcome to the new world. There you go. That's all I can say about that, Bob. Trying to get me in trouble, Bob. Damn it. That girl's stitches are going. Yeah, the stitches are going to need stitches. That was a big gap. That was a gigantic gash for sure. On her forehead. That's what I meant. She might need to tattoo those eyebrows on again. Exactly. I wish the ladies were similar size. The Irish gal looked a lot bigger. Amazing fight, though. Yeah, it really was amazing. She was leading with her head too much. That was the only thing that was pissing me off. Because she would lead with the head, smack old girl in the eyebrow, but then so she had some speed to her. She didn't maybe have the distance. I don't know the problem was. I didn't like the technique for sure. People are hungry for good boxing, but it just doesn't exist with the named fighters anymore. Unfortunately, I think you're probably right. Tyson wasn't even good at the end of his career. I don't know what people are expecting 25 years later. We were expecting an experienced boxer training hard to really take it to an inexperienced boxer, basically. We also want a Cinderella story, which is not realistic. We want the old guy to come back for one more show. Unfortunately, that's just not always the case. So it could be our expectations are a little bit out of whack for sure. It's always fake. I didn't sit down the whole time. I was standing up the whole time. I was like, come on. I would actually sit down when Tyson sat down. I didn't realize it till the fourth round. I'm like, why am I sitting down? What am I doing? I did just stand up with my drink. I'm not fighting. What am I doing? It's kind of sad. But yeah, I was with you the whole time. Everyone of these fights are at the end. Once you lose, it is gone. You're probably right. The world is a stage. Well said, Shutdown. Well said. It was, row 16. And an aisle seat. I came very close to just buying it. I'm finding it hard to say, no, you should have just stayed at home and made the right decision. I'm sorry. I don't know. You should have gone. Damn it. So I can't. I'm not helping. I know. I apologize. Make boxing real again. There you go. Pay-per-view for Tyson's last 5 fights all sucked. At least this wasn't a pay-per-view. I agree. That's the good thing about these streaming services. We don't have to worry about pay-per-views, paying $100 for a single fight or something. We could just pay a $15 subscription to a service for 1 month, and then we can bail out if we don't like it. I figured they would pull a last Rocky Balboa. Didn't make it at least boring, though. I kind of was hoping for something like that. Maybe that's just a movie fan in me. This, it's reality, sadly, is not as cool as the movies. We were all lied to for sure. His legs after round 2 were really close, and his stance was bad, and he wasn't getting low and peekabooing. So I think he came in the fight hurt, or it was rigged. It did seem like, low mic with the wide stance and really kind of coming in, sneaking in. But he didn't look like he was hunting for an opportunity to strike. Like he was going to get in close, like he does, and just go to the body, uppercut. When he's not looking. Maybe do a cross. I just didn't see it. Other than that first round, he just seemed like it was bad. It was bad. Okay, I would pay to see that. I would absolutely pay to see that. And I know I'm part of the problem. Double down. I know. I'm sorry. I can't help it. There's a lot that I'm ashamed of. But one thing I'm not ashamed of is reading super chats. Like this one from my buddy Chris. Killer Arcade Games. Thank you so much for your $10 super chat, brother. I really appreciate it. Always appreciate the support. I'm not usually up this late, but I was too awake to sleep after all the buildup. Thanks for helping me relax before passing out from this whiskey. There we are. Good man. Take it back and enjoy yourself, decompress, and then walk into the loving embrace of slumber. Great stream, Fox. Thank you so much. As always, man, really do appreciate it. When next time I get down to San Antonio, I'm going to look you up and see what you've done to that beautiful arcade of yours. The Shedcade is epic and will live in all of our hearts always. Here you go. That's right, brother. Why don't we just have him versus Stallone? Just at this point, what the hell? We've already jumped the shark for sure. The streaming issue had the fight pixelated most of the time. Tyson's old fights had a... the old VHS tapes look better. It's not good. Rematch? Oh, I hope not. I think no one would watch that. I think a rematch between these two, not good. Satanic scripted show? Jake versus Kate? Lynn Jenner? Ha ha ha. The Trans Intercontinental Champion fight. The first ever and probably the last ever. But I mean, if you're going for peak cringe, that's a good start. They stole our energy. Stole? Yes, they did. I was expecting Mike Tyson from the Roy Jones fight. Yeah, it didn't. That guy didn't even show up. That guy had more energy, and it seemed like this Tyson was more serious. But maybe it was all just fake. I don't know. Legit was rigged. They paid Mike not to unload on Jake. Tyson got paid, so happy for him. Jake can't buy respect. Hopefully, he figures that out one day. I agree with you 100%. And I said at the top of the stream that it's easier for people to destroy than it is to create. It's easier to be a troll than it is to be loved and respected. And so that's why you find a lot of these people doing that, going down that road. Well, I'll just embrace it, let everybody hate me, and that's fine. But and that might be fine for clicks and some money, and that's fine. That's great, whatever. But that's not real happiness. That's not what has real value. So I think Jake is just following this to its conclusion. He's going to just ride this out. He's going to ride this out, and he's going to keep building up hype, and he's going to ride the hype train, and then eventually the hype train is going to shut down. And I don't know where he's going to be at when he has to get off this train. Like, where's your life when all you've done is just hype, and you've not really like developed something in yourself, whether it's character, whether it's an actual skill or a trade, or I mean, to get good at something is long and laborious and boring, but it's something tangible you can hold on to. These guys that can fix these monitors, these arcade monitors, or these arcade boards, these PCBs from decades ago, that's incredible. And that's a, especially right now, that is an incredibly sought after skill that people really, will pay top dollar for. But to just be a professional troll, God, man, it's like that. I feel like that's going to flame out. And then he'll find himself 35 years old and like, what do I do now? Or maybe he'll just be rich forever. I have no idea. Now I can no longer pay as much mortgage. My nickname was Big Mike because I said that I fight like Mike. Disappointed. Yeah, hopefully you don't fight like that, Mike. That was disappointing. I need a Bud Light. No, don't. No. Don't do it. Don't walk into the Bud Light. Have whiskey instead. Bourbon. As it should be. Why not? I need a martini and a smoke after tonight. Sad but true. I seen two bums fight over a ham sandwich, and it had better exchanges than the cash grab. Legit burned me out. That's not good. I can't say you're wrong. That is America's ass. That's right. RK1 up Sega Naomi cab. Be sick because I have always wanted a zombie revenge cab. Also add Die Hard RK2. I think one was Titan based. So Die Hard was on the SVT, which is a Sega Titan. That's a Sega Video Titan, I believe, is the name of the board. So you are correct. It would be cool to get a good emulator of those games, but I'm afraid that unfortunately Arcade 1-Up is just not in the business of making arcade games, which is kind of weird. I think we're going to see more Pac-Man. That's about it. Maybe Mike was thrown off knowing his checks or his cheeks were just blast all in. Maybe that's good. I didn't consider that. Chris, you may be right. If my ass was all over Netflix, that would mess with my psychology for sure. Just realized the whole country was united for once on the hatred of Jake Paul. God bless America. Tyson looked drained before the fight started. He must have had a big weight cut. Probably. Hey, Fox, how does Joe Burrow throw 5 touchdowns and lose, but Jared Goff throws 5 interceptions and wins? Explain with logic, please. Thank you. Karma, some have said, is a bitch. And that would be the only reason I can come up with. Karma, curse, I don't know, because I'm not the biggest Bengals fan, but they're my local team. I root for them. They're my favorite AFC team by default. I don't know. It seems like this year is just stacked against them. No matter how well they play, they still lose, whether by 1 point or 3. It's very sad. It's all very sad. Logic eludes me, but I'm gonna say karma and magic, mystical voodoo doll used on the refs. I don't know. It's been a wild ass. Listen, I'm a Cowboys fan. I don't know what's going on this season. It's all over the place. Jake Paul won't be able to produce an equivalent performance when he's in his 50s. He won't be able to do nothing in his 40s because he'll give up on the boxing thing when that flames out, and he'll be I don't know, fat somewhere doing something else. Where are all the Indian live chatters? I don't know. They have failed me. Also, the time difference. It's kind of tough. It's kind of rough. They catch the replay. Yes, that's what they do. Thunder Triple X Hydro, first fight guy, got humiliated. That was sad, man. That was just uncalled for. I feel like I was catfished. The commercials had more action than but I love Iron Mike, absolutely. Mike was biting his gloves in frustration since he couldn't pummel. I mean, it was like a nervous tick, or he was fighting his mouthpiece. It was just weird. I don't know. It was like a weird tick. And here I thought I would be the only one up at 2 a.m. No. Welcome. We're all here, brother. Lamenting the loss of our 4 hours. It was really bad. On the one day we make contact with aliens, we can be assured that the Paul brothers will be there to challenge them to boxing and wrestling. Well, there's always that. We have that to look forward to. What up, Keg? What's up? Killer Instinct Warrior. Far from it, apparently. I'm headed out. The whiskey has done its job. Definitely let me know when you're back in town, Fox. I absolutely will, sir. Sleep well. Good soldier. Arcade legend. Fox, here's a question. Do you think P-Dubs, Kong's Arrest, and Justin voted for? Who do you think? Okay, who do I think they voted for in this last election? Kamala versus Donald Trump. Who do I really think they voted for? Okay, I'll say right off the bat, I don't know who they voted for. We don't share that kind of information because we're friends, and you don't really talk about religion and politics sparingly, except for Michael B. Michael B. loves to talk to me about politics. He thinks that I'm a conspiracy theorist, a right-wing conspiracy theorist. And he's probably right. Okay, so I think that, so I don't, not knowing who they voted for. Who do I think they voted for? Well, knowing what I know about the voting totals and all that, and about these guys, I'm going to assume that P-Dubs voted for Trump. Kong's RS voted for Kamala. That's mostly geographical. And then Justin voted for Trump, I think. But I wouldn't be surprised if Kong's RS also voted for Trump. But I don't know. That's like I said, I don't know who they voted for sure, but I would think that Kong's may have gone for Kamala. Maybe. I don't know. But you'd have to ask them that. But it's just my 2 cents for sure. In 2024, do many drink Bud Light anymore? I don't think so. But some do. Because some people like water. Yellow water. And then on the other end of things, no matter how bad the Chiefs play, they win. It's a sad, sad, sad state of affairs, Nova Sonic. I just don't know what to do. I can't wait till your next sports stream. Welcome to Sports Show with Fox Guy. I have no problem with the Chiefs being the worst undefeated defending champions of all time. What coat? Sounds good. Mike Tyson bites in his gloves like Michael Jordan used to stick out his tongue before dunking, except there was no wha-bam. I was waiting for the LOL. Well, it makes sense that Tyson lost in Dallas. Well, that was Gino. That was hurtful, but accurate. Oh, there we are. Okay, moving on. Justin strikes me as a Kamala guy. I don't know. I think he was probably Trump. Like I said, I think that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I didn't ask, and I don't know, and I probably shouldn't even be saying this, but I think that he was probably Trump, and P Dubs was probably Trump, and B was probably Kamala, maybe. I don't know. But if you really want to know, ask them. And yes, double down. I actually voted for Hillary and Pelosi, and you were the only one that cast that vote. But hey, to each their own, brother. It is your right, your sacred right, and I'm glad you wasted it on the HP ticket. I voted Carter Bush. Damn. I voted Goku Vegeta. Fingers crossed. Don't ask, don't tell. I get it. No, I listen. Worst Jago. I really don't know. I don't know. It wasn't like, hey, I voted for so and so in our live or our little chat. No, we don't talk about this stuff. So I'm assuming, just if I had to make a call, but I could be wrong. Illinois is a Democrat, and I voted for Kamala. But I'll take the L and not storm the Capitol come January. Well, everybody, they have decisions to make. Your idea is less fun, but yeah, like I said, to each their own. But thank you for your civility. The peaceful transfer of power is in place. Big Trump got here. Cool. America. Just tuning in. How did the topic go from subpar boxing to politics, both on a money grab? I don't control this stuff, Chris. It just sort of happens. It's a chilling chat. You just follow wherever the conversation goes. Pocahontas got my vote. Your vote counts. Your vote is valid. I voted for bourbon. That's a vote I can get behind. Let's go ahead and finish the bottle. Gentlemen, shall we? It has to go. It has to go. Fox has to go shopping tomorrow. So I'm out of, so I finished off the Jeffersons. I still have a little bit of the Basil Hayden, the toast. But unfortunately, we have polished off another bottle. It's done. It's gone. And then, of course, so we got to replenish the supply for sure. Delicious. Voted for, now that a man after my own heart. Absolutely. Voted for fire Jerry Jones. Once again, another man after my own heart. Fire that guy. Make America Saiyan again. Kamehame. Make America Super Saiyan again. Can I get a Super Saiyan 3? It's kind of my favorite. I know. It's inefficient. It's a very power-hungry form, but I dig it. Absolutely dig it. I dig a lot of things, including a super chat. Another one from Kevin. Coming in at $2. Thank you so much, Kevin, for your super chat. Always supporting the channel like a boss, like a badass, like a guy that probably could have beat Mike Tyson. This stream is a money grab. And I will say to you, yes. Yes, it is.
Finish him. Sub-Zero wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
been have a couple of Mexican beers tonight. Corona? All right. The Bears never beat the Packers, unfortunately, and the Bears have many problems to solve. Not as many as the Dallas Cowboys. Hey, what's going on with the Nova Blast? So the Nova Blast is in country. It should be ready to ship. One glaring problem. So I'm not going to get one because I don't have the room in my arcade, and I have an original Astro City. And if they want to send me one, great. But I'm not going to buy one. I just don't need it. I'm going to spend my money on a At Games 4KP eventually. Like many of you, I got to move some stuff out, and be smart with my cashola. It's Christmas. So if I'm going to buy something for myself, I have to justify that purchase. I have to sell some stuff. But the biggest problem with the Nova Blast is not necessarily the Nova Blast itself. The biggest problem is the $400 shipping cost. It's out of control. I'll do a video complaining about this probably tomorrow. And will I lose my relationship with Unico? Possibly. But I don't think so. I don't think so. Because the relationship I have with Unico is pretty shallow. It's just like me talking to one guy. I have no direct affiliation with the company, so I have no obligation to say anything at all. So I get to say whatever I want, which is a great thing about not being affiliated with any company at all. Arcade 1-Up, New Wave Toys, Unico, anybody. New one. So I'm always going to shoot you straight here on the 19 Key Fox channel. Channel number 5. Channel number 5. Channel number 19. 19 Key Fox. It's I'll work on that transition better. Mag Ultra. Big Lions win on Sunday. Kick ass. Absolutely. Hey Fox. What's the latest on the Nova Blast cabinet? For God's sakes, man. It's in the country, and if you'd like to order one, you can get one. As long as you love paying $400 for shipping. But there you go. Have you considered looking into FPGA emulation with Mr. Yes, I have. I heard there's actually a new board, the Mr. Pi, that is out that replaces the main board on the Mr., which has kind of been really difficult to get. So I'm considering it. I do like to have original hardware when I can. I don't mind running original hardware on something like a Nova Blast. That would be sick. But I'm wanting to get rid of some of my physical cabinets and use my Astro City as kind of my multicade. I use that term very lightly. It's not really multicade. It's more of a, JAMA cabinet, basically. So just have a couple boards pre-made, because you have to have this board with a Nova Blast, or with not a Nova Blast. With an Astro City, you have to have a board that the game board is mounted to that slides in place. So I've got this design where my boards have a handle and I can swap them out. So I've got some CPS2 boards set up like that. I've got the King of Fighters 03, I think, on this. It's a single board game. I've got that mounted to a board, so I swap those in and out when I want to. I want to make up a few more boards. I'd like to have the SVT, the Sega Video Titan, the Sega Video Game Titan, the Titan board by Sega. I like to set that up because I've got a multi-cart that I could play a couple different games on. But the Mister is something I am waiting for more cores to be available. I'm curious about that. But if, I don't know. It's like, if you've got a short list of arcade games that you absolutely want to be arcade perfect, I think you should try to find those boards. But the Mister is probably cheaper. So I haven't had much experience with it, but I am keeping my eye on it. And I'm, it may fill the gap where I can't find the original board and have to settle for something else. So, but then you got to worry about when are the cores coming out and how do I get a good core and what does that even mean? And these are words, things. So, but no, I've definitely not ruled it out for sure at all. I'm looking into it for sure. The monitor is good now. And where do you live in Chicago, Mexico? I mean, are you close to the border? Can somebody meet you? It's sad that they won't ship it to Mexico. That kind of sucks. Well, listen, if it's any consolation, to even get it in the States, you got to pay $400. I think they should put that into the cost of the machine or something. I mean, because that's a hell of a sticker shock for sure. Vegeta 3, Goku 0. Vegeta keeps saying he wants to beat Goku, but has never lost. Just like you never lost as long as Bourbon is nearby. I'll go with that. Sounds good. Dig it. I didn't blast anybody though. I didn't blast anybody though. Yeah, Kevin. 19K box. What do you think about the 4KP tables not actually being 4K? I don't like that at all. The problem is, in my opinion, using cost to underdeliver to your customers. If it's a 4K, if 4K is in the title, it needs to be 4K. So if you got to spend more money on the display to get 4K 120 hertz instead of 60 to make it smooth, that's what you do. If you got to up the processor to make it true 4K, that's what you do. And then you charge $3,000 for the machine if you have to. That's just what you have to do. I don't like price artificially diminishing the product that you're trying to sell. I don't like that. I know that price is a huge factor. Obviously, I'm not an idiot. Well, I don't think I'm an idiot. Just depends. Depends on who you ask. But I think that if you got to charge $3,000 for the machine, then that's what you do to give the experience that's required. You know, I mean, it is what it is. Maybe take a loss in the beginning, but then you make it up on future sales, economies of scale, and all that. But I think that that's a damn shame. You know, you're going to pay $2,000 for this thing and not get the best, smoothest, best, just the best experience you can. And they're going to, and also you use price to dictate the machine you're going to make. So you're going to downgrade the machine to match the price, but then you're going to use price as an excuse for the diminished experience. It's like a double-edged sword. I don't like that. You know, just make if it costs an extra $1,000, just do it. Just do it. Nobody else in this space is doing anything like that at that price point. Not really. You know, $2,500. I mean, what would it cost? Seriously, if you add $500 more to it, you think people are going to really get that upset? There you go. There you go. Hoping to get shipping notification for Jurassic Park this week. Hell yeah, kick ass, man. That topper is outstanding for sure. Mister. You getting a Retroid Pocket 5 handheld gaming? Kind of nostalgic for one myself. I don't have anything besides I got the Evercade EXP-R on that. I should have already had that, but there was some kind of production delay, so I'm waiting on that. I was looking at not that particular release, but I was looking at Ambernick's new SP type device, and they came out with something else. I like the 4:3 aspect ratio, but then Unico announced the thing that I told them not to announce. They announced the generic plain Unico Pocket. There was a couple of versions we were looking at. I was involved in just the preliminary stuff. And that was not what I wanted them to release because it's just gray. It's generic. There's nothing different about it or special about it. There's no reason for a collector to buy it. It's like a generic handheld. And they want $90 for this thing. And it only has 40 games built in where you can get an Ambernick device or anything else, any other device out there that will play all the games. There's all these emulators on there that are preloaded for all these different games. I just don't understand it. But I have not looked at the Retroid Pocket 5 yet. Kind of nostalgic for one myself. I'll have to look at it, though. Let me, you know what? I'm going to do this live. Let's take a look at it. Retroid. What'd you call it? The Retroid. Let me see. Retroid Pocket 5. The Retroid Pocket 5. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean it's kind of looking like a Switch Lite, basically. Let's let me share my screen. Make sure we're doing the right thing here. Boom. Bada bing. Bada boom. There we go. Share. So yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I like the analog sticks being down like that, like a Vita, PlayStation Vita. I like that for sure. I don't know. It's not bad. Looks pretty good. Looking pretty good. Like the How joysticks, 219. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. What colors do we have here? Oh, what do we got? Let's go to the console here. Let's go boom. Let's go there. So we got the 16-bit version. We got the black version. We got the white version. We got the Game Boy Color version. Yeah, the Game Boy Color version with the that's I don't like that. I don't like that. 16 bits okay. Black, white. I'd probably go black. I know it's kind of lame, but it's simplistic. But I don't know. 16-bit looks good too. Maybe 16-bit. Not bad. But yeah, if you want to check that out, everybody, check that out. There it is. That's what it looks like. Yeah. I don't know. I don't like that color. That's just me. See Marvel, I have actually tried to set that up, and I'm thinking about probably start with the battle pod. That's probably that makes the most sense. I'm working on my live stream setup to try to get it to make sense. So I have a little laptop stand. So I want to have my laptop there and my cameras. I got to get my cameras set up just right. But the Star Wars cab was kind of hard to figure out the position of the camera. So I'm trying to figure out a good webcam mount for that. Now, will the John Williams music get a copyright infringement? Maybe, but I don't really care. That'd be kind of fun. So if I figure, because it's so gigantic, if I can get that one to work, then I should be able to get the other ones to work. So it's a good idea. I think I need to do that. My problem is usually Monday to Friday, I'm on the road, but because I would love to do like a Wednesday night. I think that would be good to break up the week. So you got Sunday, I do my show. A lot of you are watching on the replay on Monday, and then Wednesday do another live stream, and then sprinkle in another video somewhere and try to get more of a flow. My work schedule really kind of just kicks me in the ass as far as like getting videos and stuff out. But it's a great idea. I am working on that. Trust me, trying to get the hardware set up to where I can do that and make it. I want you to have a good experience watching it. So I am working on that for sure. Great suggestion, and I'm working on it. I promise you. That will be coming very soon. Most likely next month when work slows down, I'll have some more time to focus on that. I've got a couple webcams. If I got to buy another webcam, I'll absolutely do it. Yes, everybody would, especially Spy Hunter. Spy Hunter is a huge fan favorite in the community for sure. I live south of Cancun, so it's not close to the border. I have a ton of jamming boards, so it would be perfect for me. I know that's what I hate, man. It's like a lot of people have, and it's what I hate. The thing I hate is not shipping to certain customers, but the thing that I love about the Nova Blast is that it was this way to play those. It was a plug and play way to play all these JAMA boards we have laying around. A lot of people have these boards laying around, and they want a quick and easy way to play these. And as we get older, sitting down is the better way to game. I'm telling you guys, it's not bad. I enjoy my sit down cabinets for sure. And so that's where the Nova Blast kind of came in. It's unfortunate that they're not shipping them to Mexico, but let's fingers crossed we can get something done for sure. Fox is for the consumer. I'm sure he doesn't like the 4K advertisement. No, I don't. I think why can't you just be honest? I mean, it's just be honest, and don't brand it as 4K. You could call it the At Games Pinball version 2. I mean, just like the iPhone 2, the iPhone 3, the iPhone 4, the iPhone 5. Just call it the At Games Pinball 2, the At Games Pinball 3. Just give it different iterations and bump the specs as much as you can, but don't commit to a resolution. Just don't do it. Just call it the 2 or the 3 or the 4, and then do what you can on the spec side, you know? And that eliminates any kind of liability you have to the consumer. It reduces this expectation of, like, when you put 4K in the name, everybody's thinking this better be 4K. And then 4K 60 is one thing. 4K 120 is totally different. 4K 240? Holy crap. Now we got something, you know. If you want an awesome handheld, get the Portal, want a OLED and great Snapdragon processor to play anything. It's very good. I actually don't mind being a little flexible with the 4K branding if it plays better on 1440, 60, upscaling to 4K by the monitor. I would rather have that full resolution with the unstable frame rate. That's the thing. I would rather have the frame rate be correct and be proper and the gameplay not suffer for the sake of resolution. I mean, I'm like you. I want it to look good. Everybody wants it to look good, but I want it to play good first and foremost. But it's like 340. Hang in there, buddy. Hang in there. Any hints on what cabs you're working on trying to get? So I'll tell you right now. So I am in conversations with somebody who has an Alien versus Predator 3-player Big Blue. I'm trying to get that done. So got to sell some cabs. I want to get that in the arcade. I've had saved in my Facebook Marketplace an original NFL Blitz. I would like that because I would like to get all the other boards. So have, kind of what Arcade One Up tried to do, but just kind of failed, is to get the NFL Blitz experience. To get the big cab, to have a midway cabinet, but it not be a fighting game. To just have that be Blitz would be fun. So I'm looking at getting a Big Blue a proper 3-player AVP setup. And then I like to have a switcher. I do have a Cadillacs versus Dinosaurs bootleg board I like to have in there have a jam a switcher and switch between the two. That'd be fun. But yeah, NFL Blitz would probably be one I might go for also. But it, is what it is. We'll see what we can find. Let's see what happens. I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch. I want to sell some cabs before I buy new cabs. It's a crazy thought, I know, but it just might work. There's Jago. And nice. There we go. You know what's really nice? A $2 super chat. This one comes to me from C Marvel 360. Thank you so much for $2 super chat, brother. Really do appreciate you always in here supporting the channel, contributing with comments and all that. It's great. Thank you for sharing your free time with us, Fox. Absolutely. Thank you for being here and hanging out with me, guys. This is a two-way street. And if it was just me, it would just be one way.
Time to call it quits.
Thank you so much for always being here supporting the channel, guys. Really do appreciate you. I heard 8 Games was working on some new cab. This is true. I haven't heard anything other than the Ultimate, that they're working on. I think they're very comfortable in the multi-cade space for sure. So you're saying this stream isn't in 19K and 19K is just part of your name. LOL. Sorry. We're not at 19K resolution just yet, but we will get there. Faux show. You mean call it the At Games Legends Pinball Pro? Meh, I'm fine with the 4KP. I'm just saying, if 4K is a resolution that you really can't deliver to the customer, I mean, if you're close, but you can't quite get there, just leave 4K out of your name and eliminate, the expectation, the confusion. Just call it the, you don't have to call it the Pro. You can just say it's the second version. You call it 2, whatever you want to call it, the At Games Legends Pinball 2. And that's it, And that's, when you think about it, all the companies do that because they want to sort of, they want to temper the expectation, And if you put 4KP, if you put 4K in your title, in the title of your, in the actual name itself, people expect everything to run at 4K minimum. So, AVP is going to be a stretch. So I'm working on it. I'm waiting to hear reply back. We'll see. Won't be cheap, but it'll be worth it for sure. Yes, that would be incredible. Absolutely. And patience is a virtue. And we just got to take our time and we got to wait for these things to happen because we're not actively in development. That's the problem with waiting for some of these things to come out, And we sort of take the mainstream option sometimes because of the convenience factor. And I have no problem with that. Sometimes it's just better to just take the hit, pay the money, and accept the convenience of whatever. But, some of these products are not bad. They're really not that bad. They're not zero compromises like a battle pod or something would be, where it's just wide open, but it's also not $6,000, so it's what it is. By the way, I'm really sorry for the times I give you a hard time. I know I don't always agree with you and tend to argue, but I am a fan and I do love to see you on. I just wanted to clarify. See Marvel, this is a channel where, listen, we're not always going to agree. We all started out with this love of RK1-Up, and then some of us fell out of love with RK1-Up at different times. But I'm never going to be mad at you or give you a hard time for challenging me, for expressing yourself, because I think that all of this, all these expressions that we have, all these outbursts, negative and positive, I think it's all born out of passion for the hobby that we all share. And I also, and this is very important, guys, I also understand that when we talked through text, like we're doing right now, there's so much that isn't really communicated, There's inflections in voices. There's the way that you're looking, your expressions, the emphasis you put on certain words. There's so much that's lost between us that I understand that I'm not getting your 100% of your perspective, right? Some things are lost in translation. So, see Marvel 360. There is no need to apologize. I think that when you do that, I think you're just passionate about this hobby. I am also passionate about it. I ain't got no problem with you, brother. Don't you worry about that whatsoever. This is fun, and it make it heated at times. That's okay. We can go back and forth, and it's all right. We can have different points of view. That's totally fine, and that's always going to be something that is cool here on the channel. So, no need to apologize. Give me shit. That's fine. Sometimes I deserve it. But listen, we're all just passionate about this hobby, right? We're passionate about these games. We're passionate about what we enjoy. And that's something you absolutely never have to apologize for, brother. Don't worry about it. But thank you. Thank you just the same. Regardless of what the processor can pump out, it was a 4K monitor in it, so it's 4K via OTG. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, if you took 4K out of the name, it eliminates some of the confusion or the expectation. It's a tough game, man. It's a tough thing to do this, to be out there making these products, trying, and I think that they're honestly trying to deliver the best that they can. I think that I would personally just from and this is totally marketing, so it doesn't really matter in the big scheme of things. This is just marketing. But from a marketing side, I would say just call it the 2 or the 3 or the whatever, the version 2, whatever you want to call it. Because to put 4K, it just people are going to expect not just a 4K monitor, but a 4K experience. So the resolution and everything. So, me personally, I have no problem with them calling it a 4KP, but I would err on the side of caution. If I own the company and run the company, I would say, you know what? Maybe let's just call it the 2 or the HD 2 or the Super HD or whatever you want to call it. And not paint ourselves in a corner with the 4K moniker because it sets an expectation that may be unrealistic for sure. My man for sure. And this has been a great stream. Lots of fun. Much better than that fight we just saw for sure. It sucked, but what didn't suck was this conversation for sure. But you know what does suck? This empty glass.
What the hell? Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
Okay, once again, we got to wrap up the live stream. It's been an hour and 42 minutes. I got 65 people here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys, and letting me kind of vent my frustrations and disappointment about the fight that we just saw. Mike Tyson, you lost a step, but hey, at least you went out, not getting knocked on your ass. But before we go, I got to know what you think about this fight. Let's go on over and shut this down. Shut down this live stream. Shut down this poll question because I got to know 143 votes. Not bad. Not bad, guys. Good job. 143 votes. The question was basically this. What did you think of the fight? What did you think of the fight? In the poll right now. And where are the results? Where did they go? Where did they go? Okay, well, I think what the hell happened? Let me scroll up. Where did they go? I can't find the results of the poll. And the results are going to be whatever I say. Here we go. Okay, so the question, once again, sorry about that delay. What did you think of the fight that we just saw tonight? Coming in the number 4 spot was good. Coming in at 4%. Coming in at number 3, it was great. Was also 4%. So what was the number 1? What was the number 1 opinion? You all agreed with me. 63% of you said that it sucked. And I'm sorry. I mean, I'm glad you agree with me, but at the same time, I'm sorry that you had a bad experience. But I mean, what can we say? It is what it is. 27% of you said it was okay. But yeah, overwhelming, more than half, 63% of you said that it sucked. And that's not good. But what's not going to suck is that we're going to all be right back here this Sunday. This week is going live. Same bat time, same bat channel, talking about all the stuff going on in the home arcade space. I hope all of you have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. And I want to see you all right back here Sunday night. Let me hit the button. And I'll see you then. Peace.